Peace and power to your family. Kingdrop at you, man. I just want to get at some comments. Great feedback, and I want to, just let you know that I am paying attention. I try to get back when I can. Of course, I got four beautiful little ones, man. It's hard to get the time to get back at you right away, but I am attempting to do that. And what I'm saying, I do appreciate the energy because I'm bouncing stuff off. That's what I was addressing in some of these comments. Is this is not an ipso facto situation. I'm not here to, yell at nobody or prove anybody this way or that way. We're just going on a scientific mission. We're going on a spiritual mission and understanding a journey. What I'm saying, throughout this journey right away, like I said, I've linked up, especially on YouTube, with a lot of, great minds that have done so much legwork into, what I'm saying, many aspects of these particular journeys. We have to understand, just like Daniel chapter 12, knowledge is going to be increasing in this time. So we have to be patient. We also have to, have our filters up. We should be anchored. And hopefully, what I'm saying, some of this gives us some of these anchors, in terms of understanding our roots, that we're not always being put and pulled into, oh, you have to, come out of Africa type of thing. What I'm saying? We're indigenous to the entire world. The entire world. And when they started pushing us into one continent like that, like everything comes out of here, and Darwinism and everything like that, and the first here, it was pushed by them. It was pushed by the same energies of our invaders. And then they grouped us into this Negro, and they called them Negroes, and we're Negro, and then we're black, and then we're African. Now we're African American recently in the 70s, right? So all this grouping, we have to pay attention to it and stop letting them just group us like we're just some type of Play-Doh. We are a multitude of nations, of bloodlines. What I'm saying? Of course, we all go back to one indigenous melanated family. What I'm saying? Our stories, our understandings of how we came to be, how we migrated, who our creator is. What I'm saying? I try to keep that as simple as possible. I just rock with that energy that created this system of environment for me to live in. I appreciate that. The energy that I'm able to speak through to you right now, that I come from. So, again, I appreciate it. I love y'all. Let's do it. Okay. Boom. Make sure we're good. So yeah. Some of these great comments. Let's get right into it, man. Some of this stuff. Let's go. Let's start off with. That's good. Let's start off with this smooth jazz. What's up? Shalom. It's all good. List of biblical biblical place names of North America. So, it said does not prove anything. This was in relationship to the video, regarding the Deuteronomy 34 and the Google Earth. And, my response is, be clear. No one is proposing proof. We are studying out a hypothesis that has been recorded in centuries of folklore and scriptural references, unless we can state as a fact that the land of the Americas has no ancient biblical relevance whatsoever. Most of us accept our inherent cultural duty to observe and examine the history through our own lens. This is science, or scientific for us. So, hope you understand that. We're just engaging a hypothesis, counteracting one that was forced on us as a hypothesis. So if they say the earth is round, that's a hypothesis. Since it has never been proven, since gravity is a theory, then we are free to engage that hypothesis and, be scientific about it, and even engage the opposite end of that when it matches up a little clearer with some of the other things that are becoming concrete for us. So yeah, just vibe with it, what I'm saying, young king, and keep giving me the feedback, what I'm saying. I'm not trying to prove nothing to you. We're just going on a journey, what I'm saying. So hopefully that helps, what I'm saying. Creator own. He said, wouldn't the white man have dug Moses up by now, since he has known about these locations for a very long time? I wouldn't be surprised if his body was secretly hidden in the Smithsonian by now, but I hope not. Yeah, I mean, we feel like that, what I'm saying, but once we kind of get oriented, even with the, well, I'll read my response. I think I kind of Said it all right there. The white man hasn't been able to find the gold of Montezuma in Utah, so maybe not. Certain things perhaps are protected. Deuteronomy 34. So Moses, the servant of the Lord, died there in the land of Moab, according to the word of the Lord, and he buried him in a valley in the land of Moab, over against Beth Peor. But no man knoweth of his sepulchre unto this day. So again, all those cities are in Utah, Beth Peor, all that, Moab, and no man knows. I have a hard time once we see the concrete understanding of these people actually being here and migrating, and the Creator guiding them. I have a hard time believing that this particular power, our power, will let someone just dig up Moses and put him in the Smithsonian. Certain things are protected, and the bodies of our patriarchs, I believe, are protected. And just like the gold of Montezuma, like I said, they've been trying to search for Montezuma's gold forever. They were torturing all the Aztecs to find it. Not one Aztec broke. The last 60 or so hundreds of Aztecs that they murdered in Utah looking for the Aztec gold, they tortured them individually, and not one of them broke to tell them where it is. And now the ones that have found or think they have found parts of it say, well, I kind of know where part of it is. So now it became about where's part of the gold. So apparently it's spread out throughout the desert of Utah. I believe there's a reality show called Diggers about people trying to find the gold of Montezuma in Utah right now. So that's on some TV show. So this is a real deal thing. They haven't been able to find your gold, your treasure. If they're called Aztecs, they weren't called that themselves. If they're called Mayans, they were called it because these people are all just one family. You know what I'm saying? And, certain things are protected. So I don't think so. But, some people think that the bodies in the museum, like, Egypt got their bodies in the museum and their pharaohs in the museum. And it's like, that's not a good look. Yeah, you can prove that they're there. That's good. But, I mean, would you want your grandma, your granddad in some museum? You know what I'm saying? Would the protector of that entity have done its job, letting you get dug up and put on display by your invaders and oppressors? V. Patrick, man, shout out to this beautiful queen. She has a great spirit, great ruach, always contributing, always, from day one, just giving love and energy. So, love to you, sis, for real. She said, the holy city's here. We are the gold. Thank you for the knowledge, man. Thank you, sister. I mean, the holy city, I believe, is here. I mean, Columbus said it himself. Let's see. Right. Let's go to Harem Art. Haram Art. She said, King Drop, did you find out how to register as Indigenous or reclassify? Shabbat. All right. I said, no, family. I understand that there are a few great brothers and sisters delivering that drop. Personally, how can you reclassify into an artificial system built on our perpetual servitude and suffering? I don't want to, just throw out all the work of the censorship, getting the, the classifications and getting, all that certified stuff. All right, my bad. Still going out here. We're okay. It is getting better. I think I'm almost back, so I appreciate everyone. Someone said that her allergies is a white. Her allergies is a genetic trait of white people or something. I don't know. Her allergies is a genetic. I've never heard allergies is just a genetic trait of white people. I think that you're going to be allergic to toxins and poisons regardless, especially with what we're eating. A lot of it's diet. For me, I'm trying to get on that Professor Spirit diet, that mucus-free thing. So it's hard because you got to cut out the chicken, you got to cut out all that stuff. But nah, I've just been attacked by crazy dust and air and whatever else is going on, man. This is severe for me. So again, I'm almost out of the, I'm almost in the clear. But anyway, so I don't want anyone to feel like, I'm just throwing out the reclassification and all the work that the brothers and sisters are doing. I know you're working hard to get our family noted. I know right now, what I'm saying, I know the UN is recognizing like the Washita Moors and, the Moorish Nation as the oldest indigenous nation on earth. They're not just saying here or there, they're saying on earth, they're the oldest indigenous nation. So once these type of, that pretty much breaks the ground open for all indigenous families of the Americas. If this particular one, the Washita Moors, which is located in that, Louisiana territory, I believe Mississippi as well, a whole region, man. But that's you. However they're classified in a certain way. Of course, we can argue about, well, what's more? Is this more? Is this more of this and more of that? Is this a bloodline of this and bloodline of that? I'm just saying they're recognizing an indigenous tribe. And if that's what you're into, my response in terms of, it being an artificial system, it's just that it's real simple. I'm trying to paint it in a simple way, not in the way of which paperwork to do. You did no paperwork to give up all of your land. You did no paperwork to give up your gold, your shiny things. You did no paperwork to be mutilated, and see your babies have their heads bashed against cement and ripped apart. So you're going to have to do no paperwork to regain these things. Paperwork ain't going to bring it back. Paperwork and being recognized by the people that murdered you, what does that do? Other than say, okay, now I can be better off in the system of the people that murdered me. You just got to leave at some point, And leave doesn't mean go to Africa. Leave just means go to, we have to figure out a community structure off of the grid, off of the cities, but they won't let us, right? So that's when it's going to be an issue. And I have no, scheme or plan of what and where. All we're doing is forming at least an open dialogue, diatribe, an open cipher, an open frequency, an open cipher to engage the possibilities or engage those type of solutions, not solutions to fight against the system, but solutions to get out of it. Because then that's when I link, once I can link the concrete of the Aztecs, and once I can link the concrete of our indigenous families and their roots and how it's linking up directly, with what we're finding in our scripture, for those that are open to it in that way, in the Torah, should I say, then we're linking the concrete of what is being written, not just the metaphysics of it, but the actual physical manifestation of it. And we can link that with now, our prophetic, timing, so to speak. As right now we're in a prophetic time of times, So we can now link that with who we are and where we're at today. And know that if we go to certain of these dwelling places, we'll be protected the same way Montezuma's gold is protected. And the people, the natives, the so-called natives that are around that territory have told these white folks coming in or inquiring about it, they said, look, this gold is left for the descendants of the Aztecs. So who are the descendants of the Aztecs? You have to ask, because if they have no access to it, according to their tribal, lore, they've lost people that tried to go into certain caves and pull out certain things, and they said, they say that certain members of their tribes have died because they tried to pull out the warrior box out of some cave, and they call it the warrior box. The only warrior box I know, scriptural base or Torah base, is Ark of the Covenant, right? They use that as a war machine, as a war box, or whatever the technology is. So there are a lot of things that's not just, off top, but it's like, it's for real. These people are saying this stuff. It's worth investigating, and that's what we're doing. So, Did I find out how to register? No. To me, it's worthless. So I don't put my energy into it. But I don't knock those that are by me saying it's worthless. I know it seems like that, but I just got to stand on what I stand on. You know, I'm looking for like real imminent change, real imminent solutions. So that stuff to me is not imminent. That's like chasing your tail around, around, around. And those guys have a system designed against you, so you're not going to really fight your way up or through that thing. All right. So music has been used as a tool of, I'm sorry, this is from Hallway CH. Music has been used as a weapon even during Adam's days. You can send me a link. Thank you, King. I'm going to check that out. I don't know how credible these books are, but they go into great detail about biblical events. No diggity. So I appreciate all that drop. I got a big folder for it, so I get to it, you know what I'm saying, as fast as I can. I know that's definitely some drop in there, so I appreciate it. Jacqui, make laughing. Just want to say thanks for doing what you're doing. Just started this journey, and I thank you and your family for staying strong and still taking the time to teach. Great inspiration for me and from my family to yours. Thank you so much. It is my family, and it's your family. And if that's your vibration, then it is what it is. You give it to me, I give it to you. You know what I'm saying? So that's exactly what we're talking about right there. You know what I'm saying? When you come into this frequency, you're not trying to, you don't got your guard up, you're not trying to dagger everything. And it's just like, okay, well, I've never heard anyone, you know, really combine those things. You know what I'm saying? No one's ever combined and told me that they've tuned my frequency to 440 hertz and then given me the documentation to research all the levels and steps of them tuning in Britain in different ways, and pitchforks in different times, and orchestras and pianos and all the things that they started tuning to 440 hertz, and then what that really equates to. If this is a frequency war, then you're on an artificial grid. So they tune you to an artificial frequency. It's really that simple. And you can research the Bell laboratories and all the stuff that they were doing, experimenting with the ionosphere, blasting up radio signals, and how they were finding distortion everywhere. And so they were traveling with this big, huge, like, you know, radar thing, and, you know, shooting it up. And every time they shot it up, they kept getting a wavelength distortion. They call it distortion at 7.35. No matter where they shot it in the sky, it was 7.35. So they finally concluded that this must be whatever frequency this is, whatever measurement this is coming from the universe or the creator. In other words, this, whatever wavelength that is, 7.35 centimeters, however the wavelength is, they knew it was matching something universally. You know what I'm saying? Something sacred was about it. So in order to get their experiments to actually work, Bell, you know, Bell and back Bell and Bell this and Bell that, and now there are all kind of other things. They started shooting up these radar joints the same way they're doing now into the ionosphere, creating their own, you know, grid. I'm sorry. They were getting the wavelength at 7.23. They ended up changing theirs or doing theirs at 7.35. So now when you look up their experiments and that they were doing in the 50s, the Bell Laboratories, it would say that they found or a measurement of frequency at 7.35 centimeters, but the original one was 7.23 centimeters that they were finding, and they were calling it distortion. Long story short, eventually, you know what I'm saying, people started looking into this, and they could break down actually how the 7.23 centimeters is the exact equivalent to 432 hertz as far as the energy measurement transfers. You know, it's all energy, it's all the same thing. Frequency, vibration, you know, all these measurements of energy, hertz, it's all energy. So don't let the titles confuse you. We're just talking about energy, frequency. We're just talking about energy. You and me, we're all energy, right? So we can have that conversation. So whatever this 7.35 is, it's my hypothesis that it is sort of, you know, if this is a dome or a firmament with a vibrational layer, we're not spinning on a ball of water. If that's the case, if you go ahead and give me that, then there's a organic layer, organic dome, and there might be a a grid within that. You know what I'm saying? There's a grid with a different wavelength, where it's 440 hertz correlates to. You know, but I don't want to, you know, me, I can get there, but I'm just going off of what we're talking about right now. All right, so all these things right here, when we come together and when we have these discussions, this is why it's important just to kind of just, you know, because we're putting a combination together in our journey, and we're collecting these things as we go, and we're, you know what I'm saying, watching our brothers and sisters bring us more information, and we're building on that. I don't know where we're going, and I don't know how to get you there, but I do know that we're energy, and when we think in terms of that simplicity, energy, frequency, vibration, then we see all the times they've played with our energy are the same ways that they play with our subconscious. If we can locate all the ways our energy is being played with, we can get off of this grid. Energetically, at least. Even if we don't physically make no exodus, you know what I'm saying, then we can just energetically make an exodus. You know what I'm saying? We can energetically vibrate out of it. So however you see it, let it build. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep flowing, you know what I mean? So thank you, Jackie. Love to your family. Lex Will, man, he says, wow, 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 that was amazing, man. Wow, wow to you. Pow, wow, wow. You know what I'm saying? So much of this has, came from that fertile soil, man, that you've been keep laying it, keep your eye on the target, you know what I'm saying? I'm continuously building off of that, man, so thank you very much. Mr. Wright, 75, awesome, you the man. Love to the creator, man. You know what I'm saying? Love to the creator, you know what I mean? Let his voice, you know what I'm saying, be heard. You know what I mean? Let the truth be dropped, you know. And we're almost there. Smooth Jazz again. He says this is to the last vid talking about the slave ships and stuff like that, leaving America going to Europe and Africa. He said one could ask, where are the ships used to transfer natives from the Americas to Europe and Africa? He said one could ask, when did the natives migrate to the Americas? Could it be the Genesis 11:8? So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore it is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth, and from thence did the Lord scatter them upon the face of all the earth. So we're talking about Babel, the city of Babel. Then of course you got Nimrod, right? Tripping. So you got Nimrod, you got all that. So could all that have happened here? Sure. I mean, look, I know that's not really your question. I know you're kind of just saying, like, one could ask, like, maybe all these people here are just this whole Babylonian thing and this whole evil thing, you know what I'm saying? Or, look, man, there's a lot of scopes we can look at it. We've been taught the evil scope, you know what I'm saying? We've been taught the savage stuff. We've been taught these people are savages and they just cut the hearts out of people, and the Aztecs are painted in the movies the same way. Until you realize you are them, then you realize they're painting them the same way they've been painting you, like niggas, like savage, wild niggas, right? Every time you see the movies, every time you see the news, so they're going to paint your people the same way. Not that some of them weren't savage like a mug, because we know, based on the writings of our prophets, we know that they fell off. We knew what would happen. You know what I'm saying? We knew that they brought in foreign entities to praise and to give love to, and to put side by side with the Creator itself. We know that. We know that there was high science before that. There was high science way before that. There was high science way before that. So it's not about what came first and who came first and who predated this and therefore you must be that. It's not always the oldest thing, man. It's not always the oldest, you know what I'm saying, antique situation. It's just about the truth. So if we are all one indigenous family that goes back to a melanated family of antiquity, I jive with that. I also jive with the carving out, with the Creator that created this entire playground specifically for somebody. You see this beautiful habitat. I mean, if you ever just Google nice pictures and you'll see beautiful, nice earth pictures. When you really look at it, this earth was truly created, just like Revelation say, the New Jerusalem, like a bride prepared for his groom. This earth was created out of love, man. Not just for people to do what they want to do and just explore whatever the hell they want to and have no rules. When you see the order that went into creating this place, how can there be disorder in how we, give love back to that which created this place? How can disorder come out of order if it was created in order, not just randomly? That's why they kind of push that big bang on us, because they want to seem like it's just some chaotic thing, and out of chaos this happened, right? When the Most High says, my word brought this forth, the order of his word brought this forth. And any chaotic fusions that happened in between that scientifically still came out of the order of the frequency of the sound of his word. And I'll get to a great comment about the sound and sound frequencies, which is really interesting as well. So Smooth Jazz is asking, excuse me. One could ask, where are the ships used to transfer natives from the Americas to Europe and Africa? And no one needs to prove ships. No one cares about proving a slave ship narrative. Matter of fact, when you really see how this goes, who the hell needs ships when you understand you were invaded and slaughtered? We don't need to see ships anymore to understand we were slaughtered. Before, according to the slave narrative, that we all came from Africa, and the millions of us on these ships, they had to pack 400, 500 at a time, but they're, we're taking 4-month, 3-month voyages with 400 people, which were the cargo. So where was their food in this wooden ship that's crashing against the roughest waters in the Atlantic? And where's the return of investments if we continuously are just dying off every damn time? If 2/3 of us are dying, where's the return of investment? You know what I'm saying? They were trying to, show that, well, in order to break these numbers down, so that, we have to show that, okay, it's a mess when you really look into the narrative. So we don't need that to understand that hundreds of millions of us died. But when we separate ourselves from our land and just assume it's the image that we've been given, the native people are the images we've been given. Everything is about these images. The images of the Aztecs, the natives, they never look like you. They never look like you, ever. You never see the truth, man. The TV and the movies and all this, the science and the classrooms and the big, globe that's in the kindergarten, the big preschool got a globe. I mean, they give that image, yet our Father says, don't make no graven images. That's just not how we are. We're inward about this. So we're not supposed to make any graven images of anything above or below, but you're going to make a graven images of a whole damn thing and make it spin and say, look, this is where you live. Trust me, I've seen it all. You can trust me, right? I'm the one that slaughtered all your people. Take my ball. You can Google right now a picture of, President Obama. But he's holding the globe and he's doing like a CERN pose, that goddess Shiva, the dance of destruction. And you got to pay attention to all the arms coming out of Obama. I think it's on Time magazine. And all of his arms, have a weapon of destruction. There's like military tanks, there's money, there's a little white dove. And you got to understand that when they, this dove is innocence, this dove is peace. But when they come in peace, they mean war. You got to understand those things. He has a big ball in his hand. Everything that's used against you, they use these images against you and they play them in your mind, And, it keeps these sigils, it's deep, man, when it comes to the sorcery of their English language and what we claim with these images that we accept. When they come with a cross, it's an image. We weren't supposed to deal with these images. when they brought it to us and they called us enemies of Christ and put us into perpetual servitude because we didn't accept the image. We knew the cross goes back to Babylon, and people were rocking the cross way before that. Now it just represents Christianity. Only stupid people will disassociate with whatever that was representing for thousands of years with the same group of people that's bringing it to you in 1400, 1500 something and saying, we're going to kill you unless you get down with this. And then now we're all running around talking about Christians. And we don't understand that connection. We then have to subconsciously thank them for coming over and bringing their deity to us when you understand you are already here. You have to say, thank you, man, for how would I ever be saved if you didn't bring me this Christ and this cross to my land that never had it. But we have the commandments, the oldest commandments in Los Lunas, New Mexico, going back 1000 BC. 1000 BC. And there's more commandments and articles, artifacts, you know what I'm saying, in stone, where you're going to find that. Now you know who to relate it to. You know whose migrations to relate it to. Now we can kind of put that, you know what I'm saying, and fit that. It's fitting in like a beautiful puzzle, man. And again, you know what I'm saying, other folks have, you know, been putting this together, you know what I'm saying, for me. I'm just picking up the pieces, you know what I'm saying, keeping it going with you guys, keeping them dice rolling. So, again, where other ships used to transfer natives from Americas to Europe and Africa. I'll just quickly read my quick response here. I said, smooth jazz, I can rock with that all day. Key, I said, returning to our most high head of days, the original sound and vibration of our ancestors is the only glory in the eternal target. I'm sorry, I didn't finish reading his. He said, the fact is we don't know, so I agree with you to seek the creator, the most high first. Seek the truth and educate each other. So love to you, King. You're absolutely right about that. Everything we're doing, man, is about the target. So we're starting with the target and we're kind of working backwards and putting it together. We're never leaving, and we're doing our best never to lose sight of the creator, the actual source, the frequency itself. And with that, we can expand once we are anchored in that. And if you're not anchored in that, then, you know, it's hard for you to really see the perspective of this journey. But for those that do, I really appreciate the energy that you're giving. If you don't, fall back and chill out, because it's, you know, something here you're going to relate to. If it's the energy, the 432 hertz, if it's understanding, you know what I'm saying, the whole melanated true earth plane, you know what I'm saying, I call it, not the flat earth. The flat earth is like a trigger, flat earth. It's not really flat, right? It's mountainous and, you know, beautiful terrain and all that kind of stuff. We just say, or it's, you know, these people get out ahead of us before this stuff comes out, and they create this whole hoopla so that you are desensitized to it. So by the time you hear it, you go, yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, that's crazy. These people are crazy because they've been putting it out in the media, Flat Earth Society. And Obama does a whole joke about it. I don't have time to do a meeting with the Flat Earth Society. And it's a big political joke. And then B.O.B. comes out and everybody clowns him. But yo, shout out to B.O.B. I dropped his whole album. I got to put it on the site. But there's a link that I'll actually link to this, where you can hear his whole album called Earth Mixtape. And he just doing nothing but just the drop on the Earth drop. And he's going to drop it. But yeah, you know, of course, that brother went as far as he could, man, without having to conform. And then now, of course, he's getting turned on instantly just by talking about having a different perspective of the land that he inhabits. And that lets you know he's being triggered. Suddenly it's, you should stop rapping, you're the worst, you're a disgrace. And what did he do other than say, I don't think I'm spinning on a ball of water? That's a demonic response. There's certain things that you notice when people snap right into it. The whole flat earth thing has created monsters, man. Like, it's the nicest, coolest conversation you could be having, and then you talk about that, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? So we got to pay attention to the energies that are within us behind these images. And once you take somebody's ball away, they go crazy. They want their ball, but I'm not going to give you your ball. Because if you don't got gravity, you don't got no ball. I don't want to talk about anything else. There's someone who's real stubborn about this. If you can't prove your gravity, then you can't prove your ball of water spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. miles per hour hurling through space, keeping us balanced, right? Everything goes back to gravity. And when it's being left as a theory, then we can at least, theorize the contrary. You have no gravity. Everything you can account for with gravity, we can account for with density. This nail will fall because this nail is denser than the atmosphere. It will fall. That's just law of physics. You can call that law because that's physical law. Gravity, so it's a theory. So yeah. Where was I? Oh, okay. So yeah, you can read it yourself. It's a lot that I responded. Some of these things I kind of went into, but I appreciate you. And no, I don't care per se about trying to prove ships going either way. We don't need the ships anymore, is what I'm saying. Once you understand that they came here, then you don't need that to prove the suffering, the catastrophic Holocaust that went down to your bloodline and what they were fighting for. So when we bring out documents like Columbus, saying he's going to seize the holy city, we got to take that into account, at least investigate it and say, is he saying the holy city's here? And if he's saying the holy city's here and we're here and they just got here, and he's saying that it took 8 months from 1501 to 1502 to seize the holy city, that means that your people was fighting for Jerusalem in 1500. And you never read about that war, nor will you read about that war, because they're not going to give it to you. And I ask you again, how will you know your history here? Because they don't know your history here, because they were not here. So we have to connect our migrations back together to know what we were dealing with. We know we were dealing with different tribes with different understandings. We had the Egyptians here, Moors, Israel, everything, and all in between. You know what I'm saying? You can argue about titles all day. I'm just saying you were here, you were recently invaded, and it's worth the investigation. And no, we don't need ships for that. But I know that you know the perspective, and that's the creator. So we're all G. Almost done. Study T, love you, man. The Study T, check him out, man. Subscribe to this king. I just dropped his track, man, on the site. Drop track, Scripture. Shout out to Scripture, man. Above all, definitely check out his SoundCloud. Check him out on YouTube. Study T, the Study T, I believe he calls it. Yeah, the Study TV. Oh, the Study TV. Excuse me. It was kind of put out weird. The Study TV. Subscribe to the Study TV. He's a cold brother, man, and check him out, man. He got his drop track. Wonder if I can play a little bit here.
I've been seeing the problem lately with all of this congestion. A bunch of upset stomachs, dookie intestines. Should I believe all of the stories in the Bible as they question? Enough with second guessing. I'm an Israelite who's been sitting here to clear up any misconceptions about his chosen people, who he put his breath in. With me, you get the truth for free, so quit tithing to these reverends. You can't buy your way off into heaven. False prophets, worry about their pocket margins. ATMs in the church house for you to swipe your card.
Yeah. Scripture. Scripture. Yeah, man. I ain't playing. I love all my peoples, man, but I don't just feature anybody, man. So, of course, you know what I'm saying, I come from, a jazz musician. I got the ear. I got to hear. But this brother got it, man, and definitely check him out. Anybody else that wants to get your joint featured, you know what I'm saying, you send us a link. If it's on SoundCloud, we'll try to do, you know what I'm saying, a little feature. We can put you in our artist lounge on the site, or send your music to 432, or excuse me, music at 432 to drop, music at 432 to drop.com, and send an MP3. We can do a feature, do a whole compare thing where you can hear it in both the frequency that your MP3 is in, which is 440 by default. Every MP3, everything you're putting on SoundCloud, unless you've tuned it yourself to another frequency, is automatically by default in 440 hertz. All right, so that is what we're talking about. That is the frequency of our invaders. They only put that into effect in the 50s, like officially, you know, 1951, I believe, International Standards Organization. But you can look up the British Standards Institute. Years before that was doing it. Hitler's regime was doing that and playing with the frequency on his people. So they know what this frequency does. And they've tuned it by default, and they made it the concert standard pitch, A equals 440 hertz, which a lot of people have protested, right? So, yeah, check out the rest of the site, too. We just had fun, man, drop to keep people involved and make sure that they are having a good time. Unidentified drop. This is crazy. Google Earth, you can find a spaceship, man, damn near on some island, you know. But it's on Google Earth. Hey. Drop track. You already checked that out. Seed drop. Check out this king, man. Free your dome, man. Tamel Ra Smith Bay. Nothing but drop from that king. Money drops. The quail go back, you know. People say the gold is, money's dropping, man. That you know what I'm saying, it's going belly up. They say by June. That's what they say, by June. So get your silver, get your food and water. Remember, food and water is the most important thing, because you can't eat gold and silver. So you're gonna want to get your bags of rice and beans and all that. Tech drop, you know, for my PC lovers. You can see these guys put together PCs. Cop drop, man. It's crazy, man. Terry Rice's family, you know, they got that 6 milli, but you know, the cops are still jamming them up. You already know they're gonna be messing with the families and doing weird things. But that's an interesting little journal. Live drop, Beyonce and all that stuff. You know, all that little drama. You can check it out. You know, I know I got the Beyonce fans, for those that care about all that industry stuff. Flat drop. The Sea Orbiter. NASA's talking about, you know, building spaceships basically for the sea to explore the oceans finally, right? So we don't know anything about our oceans, but we damn sure know we are spinning on a ball of water. We can explore Mars, but we don't know what's in our own oceans, and people still believe these people are legit. It's just a big money front, man. And once they understand that this stuff has been faked for these many years, all the missions, everything they've done just to create and hide the creator from you, to make you feel small, not the center of attention, they're going to sue every space agency and anybody to do with them to get their money back from all the billions that they spent. The shipment of black Americans to Europe and Africa. So that's the one we was talking about. Check it out. Appreciate it. 420 drop, man. DA approves revolutionary herb study on veterans with PTSD. I mean, the government owns a patent for this already. It's already in hospitals. It's already been proven to help even, you know what I'm saying, children with, you know, certain type of issues, insomnia, different things. So there's lots of applications, you know, for natural remedies. That's not necessarily the stuff you're getting off the street per se, or whatever the case is. But if somebody's responsible, they do their due diligence, their homework, you know what I'm saying, and they understand it. Just like wine, you know, different strains are for different folks. Different ways are for different things. There's a way to do it righteously. There's a way not to do it. You know, it's an herb. It's a plant. You know what I'm saying? From the earth. So we're waking up to this stuff. Pharmaceuticals going to speak against it. You know what I'm saying? But again, you got to be careful when you are agreeing with your enemy about anything, especially something to do with, you know what I'm saying? So it's a better day today. I'm not too messed up with my allergies. It's a little better today. It's not as windy, you know what I'm saying? But when that tree is moving, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble over here. All right, cool. So I love y'all. I feel like y'all kind of know me now. You're like, man, you all right, man? Allergies. Nah, it's all good, man. Love to y'all, man. I appreciate letting such great brothers and sisters kind of, you know what I'm saying, vibe out. Like I said, naturally, you know what I'm saying, you know, I'm kind of off to my own. But in this platform and what we're doing right now, the responsibility, man, of the information far outweighs, you know what I'm saying, any personal whatever, man. It's about just a few people that will orient or reorient or remember, you know what I'm saying. And again, I'm not teaching you nothing new. If I say that your frequency, you know that already. If I say you're indigenous, that makes perfect sense to you, because everybody indigenous around the world looks like you. So you must be of the earth, not just of Africa, but of the earth. They want you to be about one continent so they can take every other piece of land everywhere else. As soon as we say we're African, we gave them the entire Americas. Now, I want you to just think about this for a second. In all love to my family, I got Nigerian family, you know what I'm saying? My brother-in-law is Nigerian. I love my peoples, man, everywhere we go, you know what I'm saying? So that's just, let's talk about this as one body again. One earth, one body. It's not Africa versus America. Don't let these people confuse you. It's all the same, right? If this is your particular part of the body, or if that was your particular part of the body, it's all your body. We're all good with that. Africa's mine, America's, whatever the case is, because we are infused at the hip, you know what I'm saying? So we're just trying to understand who we are today, why we are here today. So when we ask questions like, why have no African countries asked for reparations or restitution for the transatlantic slave trade? That should at least ring a bell and to say, yeah, I'm their people. They consider me brothers, like family, right? So wouldn't they have beef with America? Shouldn't they be asking, you know what I'm saying, for some type of resolution for the hundreds of millions that perished from their family, from their tribes? That should red flag everything right there. Because a lot of them don't hear about this narrative until they come here. And it's taught to us to get us out of our land into a mentality that's foreign to us. You go to that continent that they're calling Africa now and see how long you're going to stay there without you missing the Americas. If you're from here, this land's going to call you home because your ancestors are here. Your inheritance is here. Your history is here. To ignore thousands of years of tribal history, tribal relevance and spirituality, just to jump along with the boat of Black Power, I'm from Africa, to dismiss the entire world being yours, to dismiss South America, the islands, North America. What are you going to miss more? I mean, be honest. Will you sit here in America and say, yeah, I want to go see, I want to go vibe with my brothers and sisters in Chad, you know what I'm saying, Nigeria. But, you know, for my folks that go, they say, man, that was great, but I couldn't wait to come back. Not because they didn't like it. Some people go, you know, live out there. It's all good. But something in them drives, or it's not just the familiar thing. It's just that something in the climate, something inherent in them. They know their inheritance is in the land of Shem. It's just a conscious type of thing. They know that there's no way that they can just, you know, voluntarily abandon the entire Americas. Because we're brainwashed to think that that means white. No, Americas means black, copper-colored races. When you look up that 1828 dictionary, before they started hiding these particular definitions, in the Merriam-Webster dictionary, you Google it right now, 1828 Webster dictionary, you type in American, you see what it says. Matter of fact, why have you do that when I could do it myself? When I have a computer out, right? I know somebody's not going to do it. So I'm doing it for that person. Type in American. This is what it says. I'll show it to you first so you can pause it and look at it yourself. So, excuse me.